Hi, on this episode of
Mommy
and Me, we will go through the bucket. This is our topic bucket.
The infamous bucket,
and
guys.
And she will choose a topic. She has no idea what's in the bucket or what's on these papers. So
let's get started.
Let's get started with the topic.
Which one shall I choose?
All right. So I will just read the topic. It's in quotations and then pass it to me. So let's see what she picked.
Okay. Is it up here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh, I see it. I see it.
Okay. Here we go. I can do this, right? I'm mommy.
She has no idea. Read it.
What it says is my sexuality.
My sexuality.
So,
what are you thinking, just thinking about that topic?
When I hear that, my mind automatically goes to possibly my sexual preference. I don't know.
So, it's Mommy and Me. So, this episode is going to be about my sexuality, actually. So, how do you feel about me being bisexual?
Well, I do believe that is actually a personal choice. I have to be honest. And when I discovered that was a preference for you, it did take me back because, I'm strictly. So knowing that, you had another preference or a couple of preferences, I should say. I don't want to say I'm more of a modern mom, but because I do try to believe that I am more open-minded, I did have to do some self-talk, though. I did do some self-talk, and I came to the realization that it is you being an adult, and it being your life, your body, and I had to really accept it because that's a choice, and you have to live with your choices because it wasn't my body, it's not me, and I love you no matter what your sexuality is.
Okay. So these are your feelings towards me and my sexuality, but what were your initial thoughts the very first time that I told you? Which was in high school.
When she initially told me, I'm pretty sure, I know I probably on the inside said a few cuss words. I'm pretty sure I did. But again, with me loving you and you being the open, free spirit that you are, I don't even want to say it wasn't so much as a surprise. It's just, I still was open because of the type of child that you always were. You was always a free spirit, a loving spirit. So for you having that being a part of you, it didn't totally knock me off my feet. I must say, out of the different things that we've encountered together, that's not the thing that just kind of took me aback. I had to get used to it.
No, I don't agree.
What? Oh my God.
The very first time, you don't remember?
Please refresh my memory.
We were at the house on Harvard.
I see that.
In the kitchen.
And
then I was crying because I was like, my friend is mad at me. And you're like, okay. And then I was like, it's my girlfriend, Mom. And you're like, what? What are you talking about? And I was like,
I was taken back.
And then you were like, what are you talking about? Where did you get this from? What?
I was processing. Keep going.
And then I told you not to tell her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I remember that.
One of my friends called me and was like, hey, are you over here? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, your mom's car is outside. So then I called one of my favorite aunts, used to be favorite. I called her and I said, oh my God, I'm running away. My mom went over there. I told her not to go over there. And she's like, calm down, because I told her to go over there.
Well, with you being in high school, I felt it was important as mommy that I then have a conversation with the other person's parent to make sure that we all had an understanding and to really try to see what was going on.
What was the understanding?
Well, because that's a big choice. I felt that was a big choice. And again, you were in high school. You weren't in a full-grown adult when that came out. So as a mommy, I'm trying to get a better understanding. This was something totally new. And I have to be honest, nobody that I personally was in a long time relationship that might have been a close friend that I was aware of that had ever experienced any of that. So kind of going through that with you gave me more close and up personal look into that whole thing with different, with the different parties coming together, because outside I was never introduced to anything like that. So me processing that with you being still in high school, that kind of shook me. I was your mom, so see, I didn't lock you in your room or anything. I went to talk to the other parent, right? I'm mommy.
Well, how do you think that affected our past relationship or our current relationship? Do you think it's affected it at all?
I'm pretty sure back then you were very angry, as you said. You were very, very, very angry. But as we can see, like even now, it might even put a little bit of strain on you, maybe feeling that you would have to be careful with things that you share with me, I think. But over time, I don't really think it was that. Once we got through that, because we did get through it. Let me state that, as you can see, we got through it. From that point on, though, I believe it allowed me to then have an even more open mind to be prepared for whatever you may be willing to share with me about you. But it was a process.
Well, funny side story. Before they moved down here to Atlanta with me, she came to visit, and there was this girl I was dating, and they got to meet her, but it was like, oh, we're just dating. It's not really my girlfriend. And then I remember we went to the movies, and for some reason we stopped at the gas station, and you were like, is that your girlfriend? I said, no, we're just dating. And you were like, oh, okay. And then you said, what do y'all do? Do you remember asking me that?
Well, again, she was my first experience. So, of course, I, being mommy, had a lot of questions, okay? I'm allowed to have questions, right?
Yes.
So I was curious.
All right. What is your advice to other parents or to children, if children are trying to decide to come out to their parents, or do you have any advice for the child on a way that makes it more approachable, or a way for the parent appropriate response to the child when their child is trying to?
One thing that I know that I can suggest, always keep lines of communication open with you and your child. Whether this is a mommy watching or a dad taking a peek in, really try hard to have open lines of communication. Yeah, Shania giving me this information or allowing me to know her interest, even going back to high school, that's one thing. But then still having those open lines of communication and your kids knowing that you are a safe place to land, because sometimes that's why your children tend to go to other people instead of talking to the child. Keeping the lines open and trying not to be judgmental, even though we can give them advice, but being open-minded about it so that they know that they are okay. And after that, I do believe that I did let her know, I don't want you to be afraid to be able to tell me anything, even if it's something that I don't like. I always said that we can get through it, versus me as a mom believing I'm operating in one way and come to find out I'm totally something else. Plus, I always said, we can deal with it if I know what we're dealing with, versus me looking like I basically have egg on my face.
So now, years later, and you see me in a few relationships, and now you've been in my day-to-day life for a few years now. Do you have a preference for me?
Well, I love the people who you surround yourself with, because they're definitely fun, loving, and I love everybody. But honestly, I want what makes you really, I have to honestly say, if we were going biblical for 1 second, we know biblically what it is said, but that again is about judgment. And so whatever it is that you believe that you're okay, that's going to make you the happiest. And I don't mean based off what is happening, but what is going to bring you the most joy, that at the end of the day, you can live with the decision that you make as far as your sexuality. So if that is with a male, yay, but if it is also with a female, as long as they love and cherish you and willing to take care of you and do what is necessary to do to make you happy and give you a life filled with joy, and it is still in love and they respect our creator, that again, it is your choice. And as long as they love me, and you gotta love me, then I'm okay. Are you trying to tell me something right now?
No,
Look.
I'm just asking questions. This is just a part of the show.
Yeah. So again, it's who makes you the happiest, that's going to treat you good and be good for you and bring joy to your life. Not just happiness in the moment in that season, but bring joy to your life that allows you to not only be nourished, but to flourish while we're here on this side of heaven. So no matter who it is, if they're respectful and they respect you and love you, and if they love you, they are never going to have no choice but to love me. It'll be all to the good, because you had the opportunity to have some amazing people in your life, and I believe they have loved and respected me from the relationship that I've been a part of. I really do. I believe those people really love me. And I actually do. I love them as family and as my daughters. And I know they can call me even right now today. So for that, I am grateful. And I thank God that I do have a heart that is open to other people and other things, because every way is not my way. It is, people have the right to make their own choices and their own decisions, and we have to love them right where they are.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
That it?
That was the first episode, the very first topic. Like, comment, and share. Please tell us your thoughts. Anything else that I should have asked her that we could circle back around on the next episode and talk about. Anything else you guys want to ask me? Yeah, that was the first one.
Oh my God, that was unique. But again, mommies, and even daughters, be okay to be who you are. Then that way people will just know that's who you are. What it is sometimes when people are hiding who they really are, when the part of you that is destined to show up, it won't throw people, because that's who you've been the entire time. So they'll already know and just continue to love you right where you are, and we'll all can just even grow together and this be a more beautiful place for us all to be, right?
Yep.
So thank you again for joining us for Mommy and
Me.
We will see you guys on the next episode. Be sure to like, share, and follow. Share this with someone, and make sure you subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, hit the bell so you guys can be notified when we go live. Again, thank you again for watching Mommy and
Me.
See you next time.